Well, hello again, everyone. I hope you're doing pretty well out there and everything, and enjoying the content that's coming up on the channel. I did the Superman review, then I did the Death Warrant review, so I've actually gotten 2 reviews up within a month, and I'm very much intent on picking up that type of pace around here because, like I've mentioned before, that I had a lot of things going on at the beginning of the year with the Terminator thing and a few other things going on here and there with other projects, heavy music videos, so it kind of slowed down production of reviews on the channel, but we kept going with commentaries and other updates and everything like that. But I got a very long list of reviews that I want to be able to get done this year, and so I got to really pick up the pace, and I'm very much excited to do so and everything. So a lot of the media pickups I have here are going to tie into a lot of the reviews I'm going to be producing in the next couple of weeks, so we're going to tie all that stuff in together. But Steve and I got together and did a commentary the other night for John Carpenter's The Thing, and a very nice type of thing. So we're kind of buffering out because we had such a shit show with Halloween 5, such a terrible film, hilarious commentary, but we need a palate cleanser, a nice high quality film to enjoy and get back up on things before we kind of delve into everything we're doing with Halloween 6, which is going to be a bit of a departure style-wise for the commentary because we got the 2 different cuts of the film, and they're both very prominent type of things. So we kind of figured out that we're going to do a full commentary for the theatrical cut, and then there's an actual point in both cuts of the film that signifies when they kind of transition into the third act. There's like a fade out and a fade back in. And so we're pretty much going to pinpoint that point after we did the complete theatrical commentary, do one for the final act of the producer's cut, because that's the most radical change between the 2 different cuts. Because we felt like if we did all of the theatrical cut, then all of the producer's cut, there'd be a lot of redundant type of things that we'd get into, and we weren't entirely confident that we could get 2 full commentaries out of just pinpointing differences between the 2 different films. It just seemed a little tough to wrap ourselves around to fully commit to that type of thing. So we're going to be doing that type of thing. It'll be one complete presentation, so we'll get cues and whatnot of when to set things up and timestamps for when you should set to sync it with the other half of the producer's cut. But it'll be the complete theatrical cut, and then we'll have information as we go along that, probably when we hit the end credits of the theatrical cut. We'll let you guys know what the timestamps are that we're syncing to from the producers, so you can get that set. We'll give you enough time, or you can just pause it at a particular point, and then we'll sync up and move on from there for like the last half hour of the producer's cut. Because obviously, as we'll do the whole thing, we'll be going along and have watched and know the producer's cut very well to pinpoint what happens and what kind of goes back and forth. So there'll be plenty of discussion about both cuts while we do it. So once we get the producer's cut, final act, we can just go off on that as its own thing and comment on that scene specifically and everything. So kind of a different experience, but hopefully it'll all work out and everyone will be very pleased with what we do there. So we kind of workshop this whole thing out and figure that is really the best idea to go with, because otherwise it's kind of tough to pinpoint exactly if we're going to have enough juice to go through a lot of the same scenes with just slight different tweaks and shuffle around of a structure to make that kind of work. So it'd be a little tough. So there's certain like alternate cuts of films, like Superman 2 Richard Donner cut, that is vastly different in many different ways to comment much more on like pacing and structure and different scenes, stuff like that. So if like I'm going to do, eventually I'll do a Superman 2 review that's like later on, like end of the year type of stuff. But just saying that there are like other cuts that if we were to encounter something that has that much of a radically different cut, we would have a lot more to discuss that way. But there's so much little subtle changes between both cuts. It's kind of hard to just kind of sit through it twice and find interesting things to say about it both times. So that's the way we're doing it. And so everything else is kind of mulling around schedule-wise, figuring out where everything's going to fit in. We're doing a Back to the Future 2 commentary with all 3 of us, Trent, Steve, and I, and a few other things we got stirring up on the channel and various other things. So when it comes closer to time to talk about that and we get everything kind of locked into place of when we're doing it, I'll let you guys know more about that. But media pickup stuff, some of the first couple ones are just kind of pickups for myself and everything, not to do with the channel or anything. so far and everything, because I was out I was just out wanting to get some stuff. I was kind of having that charge of wanting to go out and just kind of hunt down some stuff and really kind of just grab a bunch of stuff, and figured I'd pick up Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, and I came across this at Half Price Books, and they had the Best Buy 3-disc exclusive. I figure it's got an extra disc of special features and whatnot. The third disc, it would have been a DVD copy, which I don't need that because I already have the DVD version, which it will be selling off and whatnot. But figure, hey, it was like $5.99. Kind of been throwing around to upgrade a couple of films, so why the hell not get Ghost Protocol going there and everything. And kind of thought about maybe getting the Steelbook, but apparently that's just a single disc edition, so this has bonus features. So if I end up wanting to do something close to when Fallout comes up, maybe something, you know, this or the third film. They did have the third film on Blu-ray where I was going, both places I went to or whatnot, but I was kind of looking for other things as well, so I didn't want to just pile on too many other things. I want to see if I could diversify, but that was the only thing I grabbed on that outing or whatnot. But SecondSpin.com a couple weeks ago, it had a nice little, I got 20% off plus free shipping thing, so had to get it. I had to delve into it. After like $25 you got this deal or whatnot with the code, and I picked up the Scream Factory Collector's Edition of Poltergeist 3. As I did my review of it a couple years ago. Still has a claim on it from MGM. They just don't want to release the blasted thing. I disputed the claim. I've tried emailing them twice. They just ignore me, and I just haven't given a crap to do anything more with it, because whatever. But I really want to get this because this came out after I did my review, which was very thoroughly researched, because they do have a commentary from the webmaster of the Poltergeist fan site, where I probably grabbed so much of the behind the scenes information and photographs, and I did note them in the video description on my review to go check out their site or whatnot. So this is something I really want to delve into, because there's a lot of stuff that's been noted about behind the scenes troubles of the film. That'd be very interesting to actually see a lot of it and see a lot of people actually discuss that. And this got like new 2K scan interpositive, which is new transfer beyond the one that I already had on the MGM release, and commentary from director Gary Sherman, and a couple little things here and there. Same with a bunch of people on this whole thing. There's special effects guys and a couple actors and screenwriter stuff. So Nancy Allen, actress, in there too. So nice, and it came with a slipcover, so that was kind of nice to get this used and have the slipcover with it. So can't go wrong there. And as usual, slipcover with the new artwork, and then the classic artwork I reverse on the inside. So nice when I can get that. I can kind of feature both versions. So there's that. And because we're doing the thing, we're kind of going back and forth about a certain commentary of another Carpenter film, and I had not seen The Fog yet. I know I've tried to watch it a few times, but I could never get more than a few minutes into it, because it really didn't. The few times I've tried watching it, just like it didn't feel like it had much of a hook for me to kind of just drag me into the film or whatnot. But she's been very kind of big on trying to get to doing a commentary on this. So Amazon had this on the Steelbook edition for like $12 and change, and they actually I was ordering something else, and I don't know what the hell it was. It's in this next thing up, but I was ordering something on Amazon, and they kind of were almost begging me to re-up on Prime, so they gave me like a $1.99 7-day trial. So I did that, so I got a couple things shipped real quick, and this was kind of like the last thing before the trial ran out. So going to sit down and eventually watch this to get myself primed, so Steve and I can really kind of dig into this and give you guys a nice commentary for The Fog, because we got to get more Tom Atkins around here. We've had some Lethal Weapon with him. We've had some Halloween 3 with him. We got to get more Tom Atkins. And as I mentioned in the I think the last one, I was looking to review a couple of science fiction titles, and one of them was Outland with Sean Connery. Haven't watched it yet, but this was the thing that I was ordering from Amazon, and then they gave me that trial and whatnot. So this was nice to grab up and everything, because again, Peter Hyams, wonderful cinematographer, wonderful director, criminally underrated. I love so much of what I've seen. I enjoy End of Days. I love Time Cop, Sudden Death. He did 2010. I've got that one on Laserdisc. And I've enjoyed everything I've seen from Peter Hyams. I definitely want to go off and check this. And Sean Connery, I've heard great things about this film, especially Connery's performance. And I got some guys like Peter Boyle in here and all this type of stuff. Just good quality stuff in general. And be very interested to check this out because I do have it. I've been wanting for a couple of years to do something like Cinematic Sci-Fi Week, and I don't think I can bore myself into prepare a week's worth of content at one time. But I am kind of doing planning to do a series of cinematic science fiction film reviews and everything. So this is definitely one of them. Next one up, I just got this one today, brand new, and I got Event Horizon. I already had the DVD version with all the special features, but if I'm doing a review, I like to get the Blu-ray to get the best quality out of it for everything, because it still has the same bonus features, all the type of stuff, but high def and everything. And haven't watched this in so long, but I just kind of got the inkling, because I was rewatching a couple of my reviews last night, just for hanging around and watching stuff and indulging in stuff. And I was watching a lot of the Forever Horror Month stuff I did last year, and I just kind of got the feeling to want to do something kind of horror based. I was already kind of betting Event Horizon around, so I got something in my eye right now. But I was betting around doing Event Horizon. I hadn't really sat down and watched it proper in a long ass time. But something about it just kind of kicked in my brain and whatnot. I felt like, yeah, this feels like a good one. I was gonna kind of sit down and do it today, but I got sidetracked with a whole bunch of other things that I had going on here. I had to clean a bunch of stuff out and do a whole bunch of organization, trash some files I had just laying around from like 2 years ago before we moved, and things were packed up in boxes and just laying around. I just felt like I need to get this stuff out of here, organize it, and then throw the rest of it in a shredder. But the other day, Sunday night, I was kind of batting around something else. I don't know what led to the train of thought to start looking this up or whatnot, but there's another science fiction title. Also has Lawrence Fishburne in it, and you probably already know what I'm talking about because of that, because it's the new 4K remaster of The Matrix. I don't have a UHD, but the standard 1080p Blu-ray on this is from the exact same 4K remaster, and this was the price actually went down a little bit on Amazon and Target, which tend to kind of have the same prices for whatever reason. But it was sold. It was back ordered on Amazon and Best Buy's website, and pretty much everywhere online was back ordered. But I decided to kind of take a chance and just roll out to Target. Didn't have it in the store at all. But I rolled over to Best Buy, looked around, and just by happenstance, I turned around and there it was sitting there, despite the fact that Best Buy's website said they couldn't find any store that carried it within 250 miles. But it was sitting there, and Best Buy didn't have the price lower. They were still at like $34.99, but I price matched at Target, which again had the same price as Amazon at $24.99, which is a really good price for this, because I have read the reviews, I've seen reactions. This is apparently 5-star material, because I'll definitely cover it in the review, because I still have the old Blu-ray. So I'm going to be doing a review on The Matrix, along with Event Horizon and Outland and whatnot. So I am tempted very much to do a review of this and everything. Kind of a shame that there was an expanded score released about a decade ago, limited to 3,000 copies, but you can't find it anywhere at all. No one's selling it. They're keeping it very tightly close into their collections and everything, so it's a bit of a shame, whatnot. But apparently this was, like I mentioned in the Blu-ray news video, whatnot, this was supervised by director of photography Bill Pope, and apparently he pushed the entire color palette and the entire mastering process back towards the original theatrical version, because there was a lot of stuff where they remastered the film for like DVD and Blu-ray, because after they put out the sequels, they kind of changed the color palette to a much more greener type of thing, and so they remastered the original film to look more like the sequels. Apparently this looks closer to the original theatrical version, and I put this on for a few seconds, like, beautiful film grain on this thing. It just looked filmic. Absolutely. It was shot Super 35, so little more film grain than you would typically get if it was natively shot anamorphic, but it looked fabulous. Just a few moments of footage, it looked pristine film grain. Just the thing that just jumped out at me is like, this looks fabulous. This looks like film. They didn't DNR the shit out of it. They didn't do anything weird with it. Why can't like the Terminator 2 remaster look this good, you know? But honestly, I just watched a few moments of footage. But once I eventually got this on my hands, I got to do a review of it. I got to review it. So I don't know exactly the structure of events, but I think I might start with Event Horizon. But we'll see how things go in the next couple of days. But yeah. So I just got to do this. I just got to cover, because I was never huge on doing a Matrix review, but like having this gets me excited. Having this brand new presentation that everyone's raving about, that looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. I got all the special features poured over. Is a fantastic set. $24.99 is a wonderful price to get it at, and if you can jump on Amazon, they said they're going to have stock back in on June 1st. So if you can just order your copy and just have it arrive, ship when the hell they get the stock in, it's a hell of a good price for it. So you don't have to wait for like 8 months for a Black Friday or whatnot. This is a good price to get this set at, especially if you have the 4K HDR, high dynamic range setup and all that type of stuff. I'm sure this is just gonna blow your fucking mind away. They were comparing. I saw one review. I think it was the blu-ray.com one that was compared to the Blade Runner 4K release and everything. So I can't wait to watch it, enjoy it, and just get into it and just get excited for it and everything. It's got me charged up getting this version, because the reviews do it for me, you know. But regardless of that, one last thing is this last title is a DVD version, because you don't want to touch the Blu-ray of this one. It's absolutely horrendous. But a couple of years ago on Hulu, I watched the Osterman Weekend, which is a adaptation of a Robert Ludlum novel from the early 80s. I think it's the last film of Sam Peckinpah, who was one of the most acclaimed directors of his time. And I didn't like the film that much, but I had a lot of critical analysis for it. It's just been stuck in my brain for a long time now. And just like, I've got to do a critical analysis of this film somehow. And so I got this one with the Second Spin promo code and everything with the other titles. And this was like $5, so another 20% off of this was practically nothing. And this is released by Anchor Bay from early 2000s, whatnot, mid 2000s, whatever it is. If I can find a date on here somewhere, doesn't seem to want to give it to me. But regardless of that, this is one of those Divamax releases, so it was around that time. And this is a 2-disc set. This has, of course, the theatrical version with commentary from a couple different people, historians of Peckinpah's career and stuff like that. But then the second disc has an early, never before seen cut prior to this release, Peckinpah's early cut of the film. And so there's also a 78-minute documentary on this thing. So there's a lot of stuff I can get into to build a whole review around, to get a lot of analysis. And if anyone's not familiar with this film, listen to this cast: Craig T. Nelson, Dennis Hopper, Burt Lancaster, Rutger Hauer, John Hurt, and Meg Foster. That's a hell of a cast. And it's just an interesting thing with this whole film. You got the two producers who go on to produce the Highlander franchise. So that tells you a lot about a lot of things there. And it's a very interesting film to get into, to analyze. And I just have this itch to do it. And I had some opportunities to get it. It was at my local half-price books like last summer or whatnot. Didn't grab it. It disappeared. Someone else bought it. And it was sitting on my Amazon wish list forever. And just like when this promo code hit, I had the copy. I threw it in the bin. And I got to check it out. I got to give it time. Because, again, they did put, like I said, they put on a Blu-ray release. The transfer is horrendous. It's one of the worst transfers you could possibly ever see. If you go on Blu-ray.com and look up the review, you can see the stills from this whole thing. It's awful. They fucked up the color timing so awful. Everything's so heavy on magentas and everything like that. The blacks are not black. They're like blue. They're like cyan blacks or whatnot. How anyone got this got this past any type of quality control should be freaking shot or something. is horrendous. No one should ever buy it. They put on, again, they put on another DVD release of that same transfer. If you're ever interested in getting this, get this 2-disc edition, which has a much more faithful quality transfer to it and everything. So I never touched the Blu-ray. It just looks awful. So I could go on and say that 10 times. But that's a nice bit of things. And like I said, I got a laundry list of stuff. I got a whole bunch of horror reviews I've got lined up because, like I said, I will do the In the Mouth of Madness re-review, the Redux one, once they get the Screen Factory version out, which I think is like late July or whatnot. So I'm going to be hooking into that. I'm going to structure out, see what I'm going to do when, because there's a lot of things I want to do horror-wise, and I got to just see how things pace out to that and everything. And then October comes, I can just do a whole bunch of stuff and not be overtaxed, because worse than that, I don't remember half what's on my list right now. But non-horror stuff, I definitely want to do Beverly Hills Cop 2, because I did the first film last summer. I want to do that. Obviously Superman 2 by the end of the year, and a couple other things I've brought up on my phone. I could tell you right now what the hell's on my shit here, because give me 2 seconds. Yeah, because I got those Blu-rays of FX and FX2. I still want to get around to do something with them. Haven't watched them yet, but gotta do Predators before the Predator hits. So that's probably, I'll probably do that in like late July or August or whatnot. So it'll be a little bit more closer to the release date. I can use that the marketing push of the new film to tie in with the promotion of the review and everything, and a couple of things here and there. So The Hidden with Michael Nori or whatnot is still in the books that kind of do for this cinematic sci-fi stuff that I've got toiling around. But I'll get some of these things moving forward, then I'll check out The Hidden, see how I feel about it, and see if I can produce a review for that at the latter end of working through some of these titles. I'm not going to be doing like straight through sci-fi stuff. I'll still probably do like because I want to do Brandon Lee's film Rapid Fire with Powers Booth and everything. So I'll be doing mainly sci-fi stuff, but I'll be adding in some action stuff and various other things. And for the longest time, I've really wanted to do something with the Death Wish franchise. So that's going to happen eventually somewhere, because Umbrella Entertainment in Australia just put out like a 2-disc, a double feature set with Death Wish 4 and 5. And there's no Blu-ray release of 5 in the US, but usually their stuff is region-free. I believe it's confirmed those are region-free. And they also have a double feature set of 2 and 3. So that is what I'm primarily looking towards. Going to just grab those, because they'll have a lot of special features on there. They got a couple of interviews, stuff like that. Better than the MGM stuff, because there's like only a special edition of like, I think it's 2, Death Wish 2 put out by Shout Factory here, and the rest of it's all MGM bare bones releases. So I actually passed up grabbing a Blu-ray set of 2, 3, and 4 lately at Best Buy, because it's like, oh, it's there, but I know there's better releases out there. You can get me a lot more substance out of it, more interviews, commentaries, whatever the hell it is. So I put that back on the shelf and figure when I get around to wanting to do that, I can grab out the first film easily. That's not a problem. Usually you find it for $10 somewhere. So when I'm kind of rearing to kind of just do a marathon of them and get them going, I'll probably grab those up as best I can to find a good price for them and produce some type of thing about it. It all depends. It all depends on how much I have to cram into this whole thing. I might resurrect the full franchise retrospective video, whatnot. That thing I kind of said I wasn't going to do after the Evil Dead one, because it was such a massive pile of just kind of a headache or whatnot to plow through that. The amount of editing I had to do on that, because there is so much behind the scenes stuff to work on. Death Wish might just be a little easier to do, because it's just action, cannon, schlock. So it might just be a little easier to kind of just do that, or I might just decide to I'll marathon them all and figure out how to split something up and whatever it is. I don't know. I want to do Death Wish. I've been wanting to do something Death Wish for like 3 years or whatnot. I just haven't sat down and watched all the films. I've seen the first film like twice. I've seen the 5th film completely off of like AMC cable or whatnot. I've seen parts of 2, parts of 3, parts of 4. So I kind of have to sit down and just watch them all in succession because you just have to. Why not? I need some Canon action schlock around here. Why not? I just did Death Warrant, which is kind of a Canon film, and before they went bankrupt or anything, so need more Canon around here. I haven't talked about Canon films much on this channel, so why the hell not? And Charles Bronson, of course, so I don't care. I don't really have an interest to watch the remake. I'll just stick with Charlie Bronson. So anyway, guys, that's the main things looking forward on the channel here. So probably start off with Event Horizon. I'll just sit down probably this weekend and just watch a whole bunch of the special features to get myself up to speed on the background of the film, listen to the commentary and all that type of stuff, and just make kind of a day of it and see where things go from that point forward. And that's what I got for you. So we got the Thing commentary in the bag. That'll probably come up within the next week. So you kind of make sure things are nice spaced out as I move forward on the next piece of commentary or review or whatnot. So that's what we got right now. Anything else is kind of, again, floating in the air or uncertain of where it's going to land. So that's what's going on forward. And again, awesome stuff. If you enjoy any of this stuff I've got here, this is on one of my better hauls, I think, that I've gotten in recent months or whatnot. So that's some good stuff, and the fact that a lot of stuff I'm getting traction of on the channel here to produce commentaries or mostly reviews, it's a lot of stuff to get into, so I'm jazzed. I'm excited for it. So a lot of, like I said, I've got a laundry list of stuff that I want to get through this year, so I'm definitely putting myself into gear to get myself up to speed and just get up to the standards I want to for producing the amount of content while still doing the same quality, but pick up the pace a little bit, get a little bit more into the work ethic of things. And so we got a lot of things going on throughout the entire channel that we're working on. So as those things start to, again, land in their places, you guys will hear more about them. So, whew, it's a lot of talking and it's a lot longer than usual. So thanks, guys, for watching as always. Post your comments below and your thumbs up, and always anything you enjoy here, hit it up on spread around social media, on Twitter, where you want, whatever you want to do, Facebook, and there's always the links below to hook up with me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, whatever it is. So let's check it out. I'm always putting up something interesting. So if you're interested in progress on my feature film, The Fixer, from many years ago, finally coming up to its final conclusion of everything and a release. There's a special Facebook page for that as well, where I'm posting up regular content, remastering the trailers, putting up new stills that are updated with color timing. I've been working through a lot of audio issues on the film to really correct a lot of things and clean it up, so I'm putting a lot of time into that while I'm trying not to take too much away from the channel. So I am very much keeping myself extremely busy. So if I'm not producing content, that's because I'm off doing something else that's very, very time consuming and very important to myself as well. So I'll show you guys with everything I can in due time. So that's all I got for you this time. Thanks much. Take care. Bye bye.